There's a few things. I mean, and for those of y'all, just tuning in, basically we were talking about, investing in stocks, why we should invest in stocks and stuff like that. And basically when you invest in stocks, you're essentially a business owner. You know what I mean? So just like you would, if you had a million, you would put it in a new tech startup or whatever, and you would expect 10% out of your return or whatever. It's the same thing with stock market. So, you know, you buy 100 shares at $10 or whatever. Um, and I think that's what 1,000 worth of equity, and you can get return basically 10% or 15% or 30%, whatever they make, and that'll be your profit. But for me, the reason why I started is I think a lot of people want to do something with their money, but they don't know what to do. Either because they don't have the options or they think it's too slow of a return. Um, but I hang around a lot of people that have money who invested over time, and really like at the end of the day, you got to play the long game because when you turn 30 or 40, there are things you're gonna want to do.
30 or 40, nigga, I'm 30.
Well, I mean, but the 40, 50, whatever. But eventually, like, there's going to be things you want to do, whether that's take vacations, start a new venture, make a new purchase. And then the last thing you want to do is look back and be like, damn, what did I do with all my money? So for me, I mean, my personal goal is to get like 500,000 in a stock market and be able to live off that. Because there are things like that you can put your money into. Now, mind you, every time you put money into the stock market, it is a gamble. So, at any point the market can crash, but usually the market always recovers. So, like in 2008, the market did crash, and for those that
made up could just come in and just swoop on your shit.
So the market did crash, and a lot of people ended up losing a lot of money. But that's if you sold. You know what I'm saying? If you sold all your stock, then yeah, you did lose a shitload of money. But if you didn't panic and you bought more stock, eventually the stock market recovered and it went, further than that. Mm-hmm. And so you made a lot more. But again, so yeah, it is a risk, but it's just like it's like a business. So anytime you make an investment, you start a business, it's a risk. But the cool thing though is that your money will compound over time. So you know what I'm saying? Like you can put 10,000 in the stock market and without even adding any more to it, in 5 years, if it grows at 15%, because you put it in an index fund or ETF, and those usually grow by 15% pretty consistently. It'll double in 5 years, and then in the next 5 years it'll double. And same thing, but in some cases, it can grow by 30%, or 25 or 40, whatever. And if you keep contributing and add to it, again, it'll compound, it'll grow exponentially. So it won't just be like like a how do you say, like a cookie cutter pattern of how you're going to get your money back.
Yeah. But again, it is the long game. It's not really, unless you're the type that got money to put in, big money to put in right away. But if we're talking putting in 5K, 10K, 15K, you have to let that sit for a while. It's not really money that's coming back to you to live off of now. Right.
No, and you're right about that. It's not, and I think that's what turns a lot of people off who are not like wealthy. But at the same time, again, like I'm 26. I look back. I started working when I was like 19 or 20, and I look back at all the money I wasted, like trying to make dumb purchases or build my credit for stuff and buying stuff that I didn't really need. Mm-hmm. I easily wasted like 10, 20,000 like over that time. And which I could have put away and possibly had 100,000 or 200,000, within 5 or 10 years. Now it is a long game. It can be a short game if you know what you're doing, and that's from day trading. But day trading is really risky. I wouldn't recommend it unless like
you know what you're doing.
Yeah, unless you got a bankroll and you know exactly what you're doing. Because what people do with day trading is they'll buy like penny stocks And penny stocks are usually under a dollar, but they can be anywhere from like under a dollar to up to like $5, or just anything with high volatility, meaning it goes up and down very frequently. Um, and what day traders will do is they will buy a stock, at 150 or $2 or even 50 cent, and as soon as that thing goes up, like, so let's say you bought a stock, or you bought like 1,000 shares, right, at $1. So you put $1,000 into a company. If that so if that stock goes up by 10 cents, which is 10% of each share, that means you've now gained 10% of your money. So you've gained $100 on that thousand. However, if it goes down 10 cents, you've just lost $100, or you lost 10% of your money.
Yeah.
Um,
So you gotta do your research. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know what kind of companies you're trying to.
yeah. So and what'll happen is they'll go up, and some of those day traders, like, they'll pull out right away. They're like, I made my 10% on however much I put in there, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Some people get greedy. They let it go up 10%. It goes up a little bit more. They like, oh, I'm about to make money. Then it dips. It dips like 20 cents. Now they down. And when it dips and you didn't sell fast enough, like, your heart drops. You start feeling depressed.
Man.
And I learned my lesson hard, like, when I started with because I started day trading with marijuana stocks when I first got in, and this was like a year ago. I had put up, like, I want to say I put $1,000, or no, maybe not 1,000. Anywhere from like 600 to 1,000 in some penny stocks, and man, it was going up. And somebody I know was like recommending marijuana stocks, and I saw them going up. And at one point, I think I had made like probably close to 1,000 on my investment. And then one morning I was driving to work and I was checking my stock, and I seen that mess crashing.
Almost
like,
crashed your car.
oh, dude, I almost crashed my shit trying to sell, like, and then I ended up losing probably like 30 or 40% of my money. And I kind of thought back to, like, what my because I have a good friend. His name is Cameron. And I spoke to his dad a long time ago about how to invest, and he used to always tell me, don't day trade. And sometimes you just gotta learn a lesson on your own.
Oh yeah.
Now recently, I actually did start day trading just for a little bit, but like, I had a method to it. You know what I mean? So I set rules for myself, like, if I seen it jump, like, just get your money and get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then don't touch it.
So you
for the rest
really
of the day.
gotta be on top of it. You really gotta be monitoring your investment.
Yeah, and then and you gotta know, like, you gotta have, like, mental, toughness too, because in some cases, I mean, with investing, period, your share is gonna go down. You know what I mean? Like, even if you play the long game or the short.